Hello to all you wonderful weirdos out there. I am the one and only former Moon God. Welcome back to this playthrough slash visual novel experience that I'm bringing to you here in the form of Trigger Happy Havoc Danganronpa. Last video was a bit of a doozy. Monokuma woke us up, well, more like called us down to the gym. Us being the students. I really need to stop using us. It's not proper for this context. Anyways, he called the students down, gave them each an envelope with their deepest, darkest secrets in an effort to try and make one of the students murder another. And unfortunately, that worked. And now we have Chihiro Fujisaki suspended in air by, I think this is an extension cord? Yeah, an extension cord. Tied to these dumbbell bars? I don't really know. I know it's some form of exercise equipment, but anyways, that happened, and now we are here investigating the murder and trying to figure out who done it. A little bit of an obstacle, though. Byakuya has sort of just enlisted Makoto's services without his consent, so because we're Makoto in this scenario, we can't exactly get out and explore on our own, so we have to humor this motherfucker for a little bit. But anyways, I'm gonna try and do my best to make this as efficient as possible. I'm not really gonna focus too much on anything that does not have to be selected or read. Mostly because I want this take to be the one that makes it, and I want to do it without having to cut multiple takes together. Like, I really do want to make sure that I do this. So, that is my goal. I am going to set myself up for that and just roll with it. Even if I mess up, I am most likely just going to keep pushing through just to see how long the actual take is going to be, and then re-record the take one more time through, just knowing where I exactly messed up. So, dumbbell. There's a dumbbell on the floor, and this is a bloodstain. There's a bloodstain on the dumbbell. The Monokuma file said a blow to the head with a blunt object is what killed her. Does that mean this dumbbell was actually the murder weapon?
That's right.
I don't imagine it could have been anything else. Locker room dumbbell has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Sakura, I use this locker room all the time. Now, it's become the site of Chihiro's death. But why was she killed in the locker room? Actually, if you think about it, she could have been killed somewhere else, then carried here. She was very light, that is true. It wouldn't be hard for someone to carry her, but still.
Well,
I still think she came here on her own, by choice. What makes you say that? She'd been talking a lot lately about how she wanted to get stronger. So you're saying she came here to exercise? But according to the Monokuma file, apparently she was killed around 2 in the morning. Would she really have been exercising that late?
perhaps.
Hina or myself are usually in the locker room during the day, so she was probably avoiding it then. Avoiding it? Although we invited her to join us more than once, she never showed up. So I can only assume she was trying to avoid us. And instead, she came to exercise in the middle of the night?
However,
Perhaps. But it's difficult for me to imagine she would have come alone. She did want to start exercising, but she specifically mentioned she couldn't do it by herself. She needed support from others. So you're saying she could have come here in the middle of the night to train in secret, but that she also would have come with someone else? It's a possibility, I think. Mondo's account has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. And the last important thing we gotta do is talk to Mondo for his testimony. Dude had a real complex about being weak. You heard Chihiro talk about it, right? Oh, I need to get stronger. Yeah, I do remember she said that more than once. Sure did. Which, I guess explains the trip down here. But, did she really need to get stronger that badly? You already mentioned it, but she was a girl, after all. Most girls aren't all that strong. I don't know, man. Haven't really thought about that stuff. The cause of Chihiro's complex. I can't help wondering what it might be. Mondo's account has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Now, I believe it's about time for us to move on. Huh? Already?
What?
New clues won't magically appear by standing around here. We need to check every aspect of this case. That's true, but...
Let's go.
If you're satisfied, let's hurry up and proceed. He's so pushy. I got caught up with the wrong person this time. So, this is our next location. Huh? This place is related to the investigation? Figure it out for yourself. It's no fun if you don't, right? This guy seriously has a twisted version of fun. Well, oh well, I'll humor him. Door handle? No, panel. Now, if I recall correctly, there was a typo here that I am going to correct for the sake of, well, clarity. If I remember right, this card reader is meant to work with our handbooks, right?
What?
Do you have an issue with it? If so, you should take it up with Monokuma. He said that, then quickly and sharply clapped his hands together.
Did you call for me?
You called for me? Has he been domesticated?
That's right.
It seems that Makoto has a question for you.
You need something?
Sure, what's up? Well, it's just about this card reader.
Yep.
Yes, the card readers have all been designed to interface with each of your E-Handbooks. You can only enter the locker room corresponding to the gender listed in your individual handbook. And it's impossible for two people in a row to go through while the door is unlocked, correct?
Unbelievable.
If there were some sort of erotic terrorist on the prowl, the ceiling-mounted Gatling gun would initiate a Swiss cheese slaughter! And the school regulations prohibit anyone from lending someone else their handbook, correct?
Of course.
Correctly correct! So then, that means only girls can go in the girls' locker room, and only boys can go in the boys' locker room. In other words, Chihiro's body being found in the girls' locker room means... Hey, Makoto, I can see right through you. See right through me? Allow me to tell you what you're thinking. Since Chihiro was found in the girls' locker room, the killer must have been able to get in there.
So, in other words...
As such, the killer must be one of the girls. Did I get it right?
Such ignorance.
Good lord, you're simple. But am I wrong? You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your E-Handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine. I would expect nothing less from the prodigal son of the noble Togami family. So you managed to sniff out the loophole in the regulations. Knowing you, I would bet you created it on purpose, didn't you? To add a little more excitement to things. You're treating me like a puny little appetizer instead of the main course that I am! Now then, since the dead can't actually talk, they're not people anymore, they're things!
Yep.
Get it? Got it? Good. Wait, hold on. You're saying that's a loophole, but in order to borrow something from someone, then that means someone would have to loan it, so,
Why you?
So sleepy. Just listening to you makes me want to pass out. Be more like Byakuya and get your poop together.
Unbelievable.
Or else I'll charge you with criminal negligence. No more questions. Figure out the rest your own damn self. Just that juxtaposition of like, he was fine with saying damn, but we'll censor with poop. This bear is something else.
That's fine.
Well, I know you are unfortunately lacking in mental faculties, so I'll fill you in myself. Let's head to the main hall. The main hall? That'll help you understand what's going on. Card reader has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. This bastard. We came to the main hall. So, what are we looking for here? Does that mean I have to figure it out for myself? Yup. There's a mailbox here. Could there be something inside? It's an E-Handbook? No, wait, there's 3 of them. But what are they doing here? So, you finally found them. Huh? Did you know these were here, Byakuya? I happened to find them by chance myself the other day. It seems there's a system in place where the handbooks of dead students get delivered to this mailbox. So then, these 3 handbooks belong to Junko, Leon, and Sayaka? You can go ahead and confirm it yourself. I immediately turned on one of the handbooks, and when I did, you're right! This is Sayaka's handbook! Now do you understand? This is the key to the loophole that I revealed earlier. Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get it. You should pay closer attention to the regulations. The answer has been in front of you the entire time. Loaning your E-Handbook to another student is strictly prohibited. Only the act of loaning a handbook is prohibited. Borrowing someone else's is perfectly fine. I see. Yeah, now I understand. Main Hall E-Handbooks has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
What?
Hold on a second. What's wrong?
Very strange.
That's strange. one of the handbooks won't turn on. Is it broken? Whose is it? The other handbook showed Junko's name when I started it up. Then the one that won't turn on must be Leon's, right?
I see.
It would make sense, yes. After all, he did get pummeled with dozens and dozens of baseballs. Pummeled with baseballs. The memory of it came flooding back. That cruel punishment which led to Leon's death. The execution that the mastermind concocted. A cruel, heartless death. You're right. It wouldn't be surprising for the handbook to break during that kind of assault.
Damn it!
Hey! Hey! Hey, 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 hey!
Now
Hey! What? That E-Handbook is essential to student life here! Crucial, integral, instrumental, a super big deal! There's no way it would break that easily! But it did.
That's impossible!
If I say it wouldn't break, it wouldn't freaking break! It can withstand up to 10 tons of pressure! And it's waterproof up to 100 meters, okay? I don't care how many baseballs you hit it with, it wouldn't do crap! Oh, but, even my amazing handbook does have one single weak point. It does?
I can't hear you!
But it's a secret! I wouldn't want you to go breaking any more handbooks!
What?
Then Leon must have broken it somehow without realizing what its weakness was, right? Hard to say. You know what I think? I think his handbook isn't actually broken.
What?
But you might ask, how could that be? Oh my god, I just realized what he was saying there. Oh, golly. Well, that's gonna make a detail in the trial to come quite, what's the word? Sensible. Yeah, sensible. It'll make the detail quite sensible. Leaving the question hanging in the air, Monokuma disappeared. What just happened? Monokuma said it's not broken, but it's an undeniable fact that it's not turning on.
That's fine.
Well, I don't see any connection to the case, so it doesn't matter for now. You think so? Either way, something about it still bothers me. Broken E-Handbook has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Okay, then. This should be enough to get things rolling. Let's begin our investigation in earnest and track down the true culprit. Yeah! We need to find out who killed Chihiro! To be exact, not quite. Huh? Not quite? God, this thing is sensitive. What do you mean by that, Byakuya? To be exact, not quite. Certainly, I want to reveal Chihiro's killer, but more precisely, I want to discover the true identity of Genocide Jack. Then, you really think... You truly believe Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Absolutely. I have no doubt that Genocide Jack is the culprit in this case. And I have a basis to believe that. I assure you, Genocide Jack is one of us. Is there really proof? there's somewhere I'd like to take you. This will provide all the evidence you need.
It's all clear now.
Evidence that Genocide Jack is the one that killed Chihiro. Evidence. Does something like that really... Ah! Hey, you two! Big trouble. Need your help.
I don't have time to play with you.
We're busy. Leave us alone.
But
it's an emergency! Emergency! Come on, please, you gotta help me! Okay, Hina.
please.
This is a serious emergency. Please, please, you gotta help me! Just calm down, okay, Hina? But... It's an emergency! An emergency? What happened?
Well...
Something's wrong with Toko. She's acting super strange. Well, I mean, she was acting pretty strange earlier, right? What should we do, Byakuya?
Very strange.
Since it's Toko, I must admit, I'm intrigued. I suppose we can take a second to see what's going on with her. Are you sure?
Don't make me repeat myself.
I won't, because you saved me from having to read a line of dialogue and having to stumble over myself, so... For as much of a dick as you are, you've unintentionally helped me. I didn't expect that. I thought for sure he'd just say no. And that'd be the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, hurry! Wait for us, Hina!
Let's go.
It looks like she's headed to the dorms. To Toko's room, most likely. You're right! Okay, Hina. You guys are too slow! I think you're just too fast. So, what's this emergency? Well, after what happened in the girls' locker room, we left Toko in her room so she could lay down. After a while, we came back to check on her. You know, see how she was doing. But when we did, it was weird. She refused to come out, and she kept saying all this weird stuff. Weird stuff?
That's fine.
We should try talking to her ourselves. Yeah, good idea. I may as well give it a shot. The door swung open, slowly and silently. Holy crap! An aura of negativity flowed out from behind the door, forcing a gasp out of me.
What? Oh, nothing. It's just that, Hina was really worried about you, holding yourself up in your room.
I mean... fair. I mean, she's shaking pretty badly.
Leave me alone.
And also pushing people away, so yeah, that's clearly a couple signs of maybe not feeling the best right now.
Yeah, sure thing. But could you open up just for a second?
Won't allow it.
Huh?
Oh boy. And here comes another detail.
Won't let Genocide Jack have control.
Eesh. Oh. And just like that, she slammed the door in my face. What was that? She's been acting like that the whole time. When I rang a little while ago... I'll drive out the killer! Drive out the murderous fiend! It doesn't make any sense, right? I was afraid to leave her in there alone, so I tried to bust down her door. but it felt like something was holding it shut on the other side. I couldn't even budge it. Toko was scared enough to even bar her door? Does she think the same thing as Byakuya? Does she think the serial killer Genocide Jack really murdered Chihiro? Is that why Toko's so scared?
But...
Whatever it is, I'm really worried about her. Isn't there anyone who might be able to persuade her? Well, there is one, person that might do the job. Oh, please take one for the team, man. Hey, Byakuya. You think you could ask her to come out of her room, I mean.
That's fine.
Sure, whatever. Huh? You're gonna talk to her, Byakuya? Wow, I guess you can be nice when you want to. I don't think this is just him being nice, man. But what do I know? I've only played this game once. Byakuya stood in front of her door, not making a sound, and pressed the doorbell. After a few moments...
What do you want?
Oh, leave me alone! You're all so annoying! Bacula!
It's Byakuya.
I'm sorry. I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again! And with that, the door slammed shut. Even Byakuya couldn't pull it off. There's nothing else we can do. Let's get back to the investigation. Oh, hold on! Hey, Byakuya, what was Toko talking about just now? Something about a promise?
What?
Oh, I have no idea. Another one of her delusions, I'm sure. But...
Stop talking.
If I say I don't know, that means I don't know. Just let Hina take care of her. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll stay here and keep an eye on her.
Let's go.
Well then, let's go. Without waiting for a reply, Byakuya sped away. Byakuya! And I hurried to catch up. I tried to talk to him several times as we walked, but he didn't even look back, let alone say anything. He just kept on walking toward his destination. Finally, his feet brought him to a stop in front of a certain room. The library? Come on, let's go in. I have a feeling that this is the room we need to check out. If I remember, on the other side of this door, it's the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. Oh, here?
Let's go.
It'll all make sense once you're inside. Sheesh, okay. Whoa! There's so many books and files! And so much dust, too.
So, in other words...
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. Fine. This shelf is stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random. Ah. You have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. Huh?
That's right.
That's the report on a presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. it won't be declassified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for peeking at it. Without making a sound, I returned the file to the shelf. Good idea. As we'll later find out. There's so many files stuffed onto the shelf. What's in all these things?
That's enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truth for a commoner. You mean, like, members of the Diet or something? No. I mean the ones with real power. The secret council controlling everything from the shadows. If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There are some very interesting people in there. You're just kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. Good call. Third shelf. There's a ton of thick files stuffed onto the bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me give you a little warning. Those things are filled with graphic, disturbing photos from all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person wouldn't ever want to look at. Be careful. Huh? What do you mean? All those files there are investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. Oh? Huh? It's a desk lamp. That particular piece is very touchy. Like, I feel if I was wrong, even just a sliver of a hair off from aiming at that particular lamp, I would have pressed the bookshelf again. Oh yeah! It's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
What?
Do you have a problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. Nice. There's a wooden box. It's empty. Although, judging by the smudges in the dust, it looks like there was something inside. I wonder what it was. There was an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful while I was in the library. An extension cord, huh? So, are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here.
Interesting.
It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it a lie. Well, it's not that, it's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have put all this together? I suppose it goes to show just how much Hope's Peak truly wields. There's the typo. I was a little off on that. I think the sentence that was intended was, I suppose it goes to show just how much power Host Peak truly wields, or how much influence Host Peak truly wields. They're missing a word that makes the sentence work maybe a little more cohesively. Power, influence. I think influence would make more sense for Byakuya to say, so I'll just put some creative liberties here and just rewind back and go right ahead. Here we go. I suppose it goes to show just how much influence Hope's Peak truly wields. Or perhaps the mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use. I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it? What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible.
What?
What do you mean usually? Usual? Normal, ordinary, simple? Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? But what makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times, so there is no doubt. Oh, hold on a second! You're saying you've read all these documents and more than once? But all this has to be like top secret confidential stuff, right? So why? My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, and not as dusty. Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers, as well as domestic. How is that possible?
So, in other words...
I already told you. There's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council. And I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim, without a doubt, that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports has always been a hobby of mine, ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases just by reviewing the reports. And among all those reports, one of my recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
That's right.
This is the complete case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases has been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that at every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro! Save your surprise. The best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended, the only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. Huh? In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about that aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about this act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So, how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So, in other words,
The culprit isn't a copycat killer. It's the real Genocide Jack.
in other words,
That right there is the evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. Then, Genocide Jack really is... such a brutal, fiendish killer really is walking around among us?
interesting.
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
Such ignorance.
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. God, this man is so demented and f***ed. But then again, it's also a product of the environment, so... Jeez. Goodness gracious. Just get me Byakuya. Byakuya? About that Genocide Jack case file... Could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, you didn't beg. But I guess it's okay this time. Feel free to look at it in here. But you can't take it with you. Oof. And that's some suspicious music starting to play. He's definitely seeing some nasty shit. Byakuya handed me the file, and I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly, my hand stopped. I had reached the page where photos from the scene of each crime had all been collected. The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on for several pages. Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gakko, 23. Kano Issei, 14. Takeshi Yoshida, 30. Komatsuna Taro, Takefumi Gono, Uchida Naohisa, Takeshi Masamune, Yuto Yumejima. There was no end to it. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. And at the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in the victim's own blood. Now take a look at the next page, and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page? Profiling results. Honestly, the miniature buildup of the investigation within the investigation, this is certainly where it hits its peak. All of the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays, in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that the suspect lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there was any external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder.
So, in other words...
Okay, so I'm just gonna say this point blank. I majored in psychology in college. I have a degree in it, a bachelor's in it, and the thing that most surprised me about the things that really, this game got right, despite many of its problematic notions, is the fact that they used the proper term dissociative identity disorder. And specifically, added like the characteristic of those who are willing to call it by its true diagnosis name and those who still call it multiple personalities as an interesting character trait to really discern, like, everyone's individual tolerance, which honestly, as a detail, I did not really pick up on my first playthrough, but it really is something to consider when, creating a multifaceted character. So yeah, while you do have your ultimate students, like, that detail alone can say so much about each individual character and their tolerance level. I don't know, I just find that fascinating. The key point here is that the culprit may well have a split personality. A split personality? Like the kind of thing you see on TV? So I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up till now. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know. I feel like my mind has gone numb. Genocide Jack case file has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Sure took you long enough.
Let's go.
Alright. We should get going soon. Huh? Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We finished our business here, haven't we? Wait, Byakuya! As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Huh? Just all of a sudden like that?
I don't have time to play with you.
Come on. Enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye. And just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he'd asked me to join him. He cut me off. Dude, it's been 50 minutes. Shut the f*** up. In the end, I felt like I was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I'd uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack. he's the one that killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. But who is it? I have to find that out, no matter what it takes. And to do that, there's somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too. And the others might have come up with some info I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can. Yep, this is true. Let's head back to the girls' locker room, which I believe is just right here. Through this door. Oh, Hifumi, do you have anything useful to add?
Da-da-da-da-da!
Ding, ding, ding! Hifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as if...
Another stat increase for me. Evidence? What did you find? I cannot reveal that just yet.
That's it. I'm sure
But
of it.
I guarantee that what I found will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Are you sure about that? Oh, yeah. Miss Lunenburg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too. Really? What did she see?
Well, it would seem...
She refused to tell me. It's like when a girl bullies the boy she likes, right? Right? Okay, so where's Celeste now? The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there. What's it gonna be? Well, that's useful information. I guess I did need to talk to Ifumi. Well, time to actually examine the crime scene. This poster looks interesting. It's the bloodstained poster. The blood is the most noteworthy part, but the big-breasted swimsuit model is pretty noticeable too. Of course it is. What's a man got to like, well, most men honestly had to focus on, but the boobs that are just like right in front of them. A girl's locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. Excuse me, I'm gonna need to do something real quick. Hold on. Sorry, there was something irritating. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I read, a girl's locker room doesn't seem like the kind of place you'd find something like this. Okay, yeah, definitely not. I'm gonna have to go into the boys' locker room to probably get the rest of that scene. I'm gonna examine the blood scene here. There's a blood stain on the carpet. It could only have been caused by Chihiro's murder. Yep. What about Chihiro herself? I could feel the life draining out of my own body. It's a dead body. Chihiro's dead body. God damn it, dude. Okay. Hey, Kyoko. Have you made any progress on your investigation?
Indeed.
Generally speaking.
However,
But I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time, thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left the girls' locker room. I guess I'll take another look at the body then. And Chihiro's handbook is missing? That's definitely worth worrying about. Chihiro's E-Handbook has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Okay, gonna examine the body. Here we go. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Any common decency, regardless of whoever's dead. Yeah, honestly, that should just be the standard. Well, I better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up in a kind of crucifix position. Huh? This rope has a plug? Wait, so then... this isn't a rope at all! But the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was the blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right. There's the issue of her being suspended, and the fatal blow. At first, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? Status of the dead body has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Well, the one thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit and look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case file one more time. Yeah, definitely. But first, going to the boys' locker room just because there is things that I need to look. Yep. Huh? This poster. It's a popular boy band called Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit in the boys' locker room. Oh, but wait! That reminds me! The poster in the other locker room is... That's right, there's definitely something strange about this. In the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. In the girls' locker room, there's a poster of a big-breasted swimsuit model. Could the posters have been switched? But if they were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little more about the locker rooms. 2 locker room posters has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Let's look at the carpet. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Boys' locker room carpet has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. That would be protein coffee, I believe. Protein coffee? You might ask, what the hell is that? Well, Sakura might have some ideas. You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes Hina and I use it together. Okay then, let me ask you something. Do you think the posters in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I can't really say. I never really paid any attention to the posters. I see.
However,
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. We have protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee and down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day, I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room, and it left a stain. A stain? But I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly. I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean? As if there was never a stain here to begin with. Disappearing stain has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Yup. Anyways, actually, does Mondo have anything new to say, or is he still gonna do the same thing with Chihiro or something? Excuse me, let's look. Dude had a real complex about being weak. You're a Chihiro. That's the same. That's the same. It's the same. It's the same. That's the same. Yeah, okay, nothing new. That's what I figured, but I just wanted to make sure. Anyways, I believe one thing that I do want to do before I head back to the first floor is I'm going to go back into the library and specifically look in the archive room. Specifically, let me see if there's... Oh, yeah, there is something here. There's a thick layer of dust on top of the desk. Maybe there's some kind of clue here. Guess not. Nice. I guess I do have to go back into the archive room and then specifically select the box here. The wooden box is empty. The extension cord was in there before. Golly, dude. Okay, maybe I need to examine the lamp. Huh? The lamp won't turn on. Oh, I see. It's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. But last time I saw it, it was definitely on. And it was definitely right here. Oh, that's right! Byakuya was using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord here now. I wonder if... Library desk lamp has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. There's still more I need to check. Okay, now I can examine the box. Is that what's going on? The wooden box is empty. The extension cord was in there before. Oh. That's a security camera. I want to take another look at Genocide Jack's case file. I know it was around here somewhere. Huh? It's gone! Did someone take it out of the archive? But the only one who would do something like that... I can't think of anyone but Byakuya! Yeah, leave the archive, and I'm pretty sure I can leave the room now? Yes, I can. Awesome. Alright. So, objectives that I do believe I have is I need to find Celeste in the warehouse, and then I gotta find Byakuya. Those are the main two things that I... Oh, hey, Taka. Those are the main two things that I know of that need to get done. So anyways, let's head back into the quote-unquote Despair Hotel. And then... warehouse. Into the warehouse we go to talk to Celestia Ludenberg. Oh, wow, that is a lot of stuff. Okay. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something? Very well. I will tell you, and only you.
Actually,
Last night, I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. What? Really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime.
What are you doing out this late?
And voice acting, perfect. That means I don't have to do my accents. That is incredibly offensive. But honestly, the reason why I haven't really been too concerned with like making that perfect is because of, again, the nature of Celeste's character, which will be unveiled at some point. I mean, you already saw a glimpse of it in the whole "you little bitch" line. I mean, you probably know she's masking the out of herself.
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this ever would have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was no trace of the track jacket or duffel bag Celeste said she saw Chihiro carrying. Which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Celeste's account has been added to the Truth Blitz section of your handbook. Okay, I gotta find Byakuya. Oh, dear yo. That's not the right thing. Ah. That's the transcripts. What am I doing? There we go. That's what I need to look for, because I want to take a look at the map, and I want to try and track down... Oh, Hina was there too. I guess I could talk to her about, like, the locker room difference. Oh. Taka moved up to the second floor, I guess. Oh, yeah, I mean, I already checked there for the most part. Okay, in that case, I will go talk to Hina then. Oh, Hina! How's Toko doing? same as before. She won't come out, and she just keeps on mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head was all swimmy, and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't worry. I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating?
Huh?
A donut, of course! What? Of course? There's two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts. And she's even making the chipmunk face. Well, oh God. Really? I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. What? I should have tried to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well,
Yeah, she was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something earlier. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
yeah, totally.
Yup, it's true. And it wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. Was she just shy? I don't know. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite sex? Oh, wait, maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl. Aoi's account has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Really? That was it?
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The class trial.
Oh, deario.
You remember where to meet, right?
Don't make me say it.
Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
Oh, crap baskets.
See you soon.
So the first trial wasn't all that difficult, but the second trial I feel like is going to get quite a bit of a difficulty curve because I'm pretty sure I'm still on the main difficulty. I'm pretty sure, right? Begin the class trial or it's about to begin. The red door is right through here. And that concludes the investigation segment. Next video is the second class trial already. That is something. Thank you all for tuning into this episode. If you like what you saw, please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate all your support. And hey, I finished it by Saturday at noon. And in one take, no doubt. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next episode is the trial, which I hope that I'm not going to be able to have to speak so much, so... Oh, that's going to be, once again, a welcome break, which I can just be my usual self, which, you know, is still trying to work on ad-libbing. Bear with me. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.